Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of Geeks4Comics In Review. Hi there everybody, I am your host JPOOL, and on my right, which actually is my left, where I'm looking, is
on your left.
Yes, is my co-host Sandra Lee.
Hello.
She has new hair.
I have wavy hair.
Wavy hair.
Like a mermaid.
It's not natural. Not natural at all.
Oh, don't make me whip you with my hair like Sindel from Mortal Kombat.
Oh, that would be good. Because then you would have to put white in your hair. And I don't know if
like
I don't know if that style might work on you. Alright, so on tonight's show, we are reviewing Iron Fist, the Living Weapon by Marvel Comics. And we're also reviewing Batman Detective Comics number 31, Icarus Part 2. Last month we actually reviewed Icarus Part 1 and Iron Fist, the Living Weapon Part 1.
So this is a continuation episode.
Yes, our first continuation because we've been picking nothing but number ones.
So will the second issue be as good as the first? We'll see.
We will see. Okay, so let's start off with Iron Fist, the Living Weapon number 1.
Ooh, I like the cover. It's Iron Fist and a dragon. Could be Smog.
Exactly. Now, last we saw in number 1, Iron Fist, or Daniel Rand, was being attacked by ninjas.
Not only ninjas, but undead ninjas!
Undead ninjas, yes.
Wow.
Something worse than undead ninjas.
That is the most awesome thing ever! Not only they're ninjas, but they're undead! That's like two things that are good together.
Yes, and of course Iron Fist made them even deader. Which deader is not a word, so please don't use that in class.
I can give you an F for that.
Yes, exactly. So, of course, the woman he's with, she's, well, she is not the brightest of the bunch.
But she kept things a little bit light.
She's very attractive. Well, she's freaking out. There's this little girl that shows up that's, fainted, and he's trying to take care of her. Then decides to hand her off to the woman who we can't seem to figure out her name. That's not good.
Brenda!
Yeah, that's not really good when all of a sudden you call a woman Krista and all of a sudden she's like, "It's Brenda! Don't you know my name?"
And just, Iron Fist just hands this cute little girl off to a woman who most likely doesn't know how to take care of her.
Or kids in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, so next scene we see, we see day before.
Uh-huh. Kunlun.
Or is it Kunlun?
Kunlun?
Well, yeah, I don't know because there's an accent mark, so it could be Kunlun. So this is what happened before the girl escaped, apparently, and it looks like there was a giant battle that happened. We really don't want to spoil much, but there was a giant battle that happened between fighting for the leadership of. Let's see, hold on a second. What's the guy's name? Yes, we do research. What's UT, I believe, or UTI?
UT.
Yeah.
Because if you say Thai, it's TAY I.
Yes. So no, it's just a fight for leadership, also of the power. I believe this is I think it was the power of the Iron Fist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And apparently this is where the girl came from.
Yes.
And so there's this big battle. We jump all the way back to Daniel Rand, jumping down a very, very deep hole of elevator, which actually is which transports him to a completely different realm.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it's a teleporter. It tears his molecules apart and sends him to other places. Of course, they go back to the first comic. He does have flashbacks of when he was just a little boy.
Uh-huh.
And last we saw of him, we thought he perished. Of course, we know he didn't perish, but we thought that he perished in in the snow, and he didn't. But something does happen that's kind of that's affected him the rest of his life.
Bring tissues.
Bring tissues if you're very emotionally attached.
It's like, what will happen to the little boy who becomes Iron Fist, and his character will be on Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh yes, which don't. Yeah.
But yeah, that's not a good way to introduce.
That's not a good way to introduce any Iron Fist or any of the characters to bring on, unless that is Deadpool.
It's like, wait a minute, Iron Fist doesn't act like that. Not even. What's going on?
Exactly. So eventually he goes into another realm and has to fight off these demonic undead ninjas.
Oh, look, an ad for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Exactly. And pretty much he ends up fighting a dragon. And I believe that's what actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we're not really spoiling much because it's literally on the cover. Literally. So that was a fun read. I love the art, and of course the art and the storyline are done by Kari Andrews, or it says in the full name, Kari Kyle Andrews. And let's see, there was a variant by J.G. Jones. It's actually out in the comic book room.
Okay.
So, what did you think of this comic book before we get into our rating?
It's I like it how the awesomeness is consistent.
The awesomeness.
Yes, how awesome in storyline, in art, and it also gives you time to laugh at the little things.
Yeah, there are little things in there that just like make the more dramatic parts a little lighter.
Mm-hmm. And it's good to get Iron Fist's backstory delve even further. And yes, and I like the dialogue. So is it a good time to give my rating?
No, I'll say a few words about the comic book. I do love the art. Kari Andrews is an incredible writer and an incredible artist. I do like his style of art, and this is multiple styles of art he's used in both of these books. Mm-hmm. If you do know who Kari Andrews is, he's not one to stick with one style of art, and I think he's really well known for that. As far as the story is concerned, I'm very interested in keeping up with this series. I'm actually purchasing this. Unlike some of our other comic books that we have reviewed, I hate to say this, I haven't purchased all of them. This one I'm definitely keeping up to date with. I know the first one, I believe, is going into second printing because it got really popular. And definitely this one I will try to keep up with as long as I can. And I can't wait to see where this goes, where Daniel goes. He seems to be going deeper and deeper into this realm. And I do like the last scene in here. I'm not going to really spoil it, but I do like the last scene. And definitely you should pick it up. Sandra, what did you rate this comic?
Okay, before I go into this, I like the coloring in this comic.
Oh yeah.
Because they're not. It's not like with one color. Each color is a different moment and a different setting, especially during when it takes place in Danny's past.
Yes. It's a certain emotion that he's feeling at the time. I like the bright reds to the faded coloring, which represented sort of a faded past.
And normally sky is not red, so
no.
So it has to be what he's feeling, what he's going through, and a lot of yellows.
Oh, definitely.
So I give this a 4 out of 5. It's actually, I enjoy this a lot.
And I give it 4 out of 5 undead zombie ninjas.
We need to work on that on that rating thing.
Yeah, we gotta figure out a rating system. Help us with the rating system, people. We'll give you a cookie. No, probably won't. You probably don't want that cookie after we send it to you. It'll probably be like a few days old. All right, so On to our next comic.
Woo.
So last month we reviewed Icarus Part 1 of Batman Detective Comic Books by... What's it? Hold on a second, I got the name down here. We're prepared, people.
We
We're-
should.
we're
Well, we
extremely
don't
prepared.
want to ruin the comic book with like putting post-it notes.
Yes. Francis Manipul and Brian Buccellato?
Busu.
Yeah, Buccellato, because it sounds like gelato.
Yes,
Waji listens to this review. That's not my name.
I prefer Greek frozen yogurt.
Yes. So in the last comic book, we saw one of the characters. I forgot her name now, but she burst into flames.
Oh, I think her name was Elena.
Oh, Agia,
I
because it was I believe Spanish. And well, she came to Bruce Wayne's door after being injected with something, and she burst into fire.
Yes. So yes, it's like bursting into flames. It seems like another thing from a different comic company.
What, more like the Extremis?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so now Bruce Wayne is sort of a suspect by the police because, you know, they're thinking that she somehow took this drug at the mansion. Of course, they don't know that she's been injected by it. They think that, oh, she took this drug off the street, which is called Icarus. And now Bruce Wayne is a suspect in this. Of course, you know, he's now trying to figure out exactly what happened because, you know, he is Batman.
And Harvey Bullock is onto him.
Harvey Bullock is onto him. Well, Harvey Bullock is a detective, and every detective notices certain features after working, for a while, if the person is lying or not. So he doesn't know exactly what's going on with Bruce. He just knows that Bruce is hiding something.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, as Batman, he does his detective work and tries to figure out exactly, working backwards, what happened that night, why she burst into flames, what happened before, and he's very good at his job.
Yeah, you can tell that Batman. You gotta stop and think about. Batman is originally a detective,
Oh yeah,
a superhero costume detective, and you can see this in the works. It's like he's like Sherlock Holmes in a cowl.
Well, if I remember correctly, one of the basis of Batman is that he is literally almost part of his character is based on Sherlock Holmes and figuring out these things. He's the thinker almost before he's the person who goes out all out brawl. Mm-hmm. So he's a strategist. That's why when he faced against, a character like Bane was one to do strategy before going out and fighting, which of course later incarnations made him like a stupid, this big old buff guy that just doesn't, that's on, I was going to say, Venom. That made him really stupid and went, bombs, and then you're like, oh God, you really made Bane an idiot, didn't you? When in reality, he actually was the first, if I remember correctly, he was the first Batman villain to figure out that Bruce Wayne was Batman. So, Batman himself, yes, he is the Sherlock Holmes of the DC universe.
Exactly. So moving on.
And then we have the question, but that's a whole nother storyline. All right, so moving on, as we go further throughout the comic book, Batman's trying to figure out what's going on. The detective is also trying to figure out what's going on, and
also the Gotham is run by this drug called Icarus that's been plaguing the city.
Yeah, it's been doing some weird effects to people.
And the Gotham City Police Department are like confused, like what's going on?
Yeah, they even have people that are locked in the cell that they were going to question them, but unfortunately they get there and they're already dead.
Yeah, blood without anyone pulling a knife or a gun.
Yeah. So of course, Bruce Wayne or Batman goes out. He goes out undercover to try to figure out what's going on, and trying to get deeper into this where this drug Icarus is originating from. And right now he's just trying to figure out how to stop it. So he's not just going in headstrong, trying to bust heads together.
Where are the drugs?
Yeah, there's even the scene where because he's so undercover, he takes a hard hit just to get some information and plant something.
Like Sherlock Holmes, he always goes into disguises that fools even the reader. Like, what?
Yeah, like, who is this guy? Oh, so that's Bruce Wayne.
And I like how Alfred gets into the mix. He's not just in the Wayne Manor, nice and safe. Alfred is with Batman. He's with Bruce Wayne.
Well, if I remember correctly, Alfred was a soldier before.
Yes.
So
and he's going to be in Gotham.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, Gotham. All right. So later on, Batman discovers a horrible secret that's been keeping a bunch of people trapped. He finds an enemy, a very big enemy that we originally think it's an animal until we realize it's not an animal. It's a tattoo. But yeah, this guy thinks that Batman is a big softy until he, of course, almost perishes underneath Batman.
It's like with a big crack.
Yeah, literally with a big crack.
And it ends on like a mysterious being. I mean, do you recognize this person?
No. But it does end up with sort of a container with a person inside. It looks like being kept alive. So.
And this might have to do with the Icarus.
Yeah, this might have to do with the origin of where Icarus comes from. So, let's see. Like we said, this is done by Francis Manapul and go back now. And Brian Buccellato. And the the cover was by Francis Manapul. The variant was by Mike Allred. Mike Allred. All right, so what do you give the rating for this comic book?
Okay, the art style is pretty good. I mean, it's not like what we see before. However, there are certain scenes about what's going on with Elena's daughter and also the politics. They kind of fall flat. And also what's going on in the inner workings of the Gotham City Police Department also falls flat. So I give it a 3 out of 5.
Yes, you kind of read my mind on that. I think I like the first part better. I wonder what happens in the third part if it picks up. The second part doesn't live up to the first part of the Icarus story, so I'm gonna have to give it 3. Let's see, 3 batarangs. I think you've used batarangs before.
Well, it's a bat.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you use bats. Let's see, 3 utility belts out of 5. I mean, it's not a bad story. It's the way right now with the second book, the way if you're just thrown into this just now, you're gonna have to go back and read the first part.
Because this one, for this one, it doesn't give out here's what happens in the last episode, last issue. Instead, you're just thrown in, thinking you're gonna swim.
Exactly. All right, so that is our episode of Geeks4Comics In Review. Thank you for watching. I would like to thank my co-host, Sandra Lee.
You're welcome.
And I would also like to thank our host here at Jesse James Comics for allowing us to be here to review
And we're behind a bunch of comic books.
A bunch of comic books, oh yeah. Please go to our website at circuit42.com. We also have a Facebook at facebook.com/circuit42. We also have a Twitter. And remember, everybody, keep riding the circuit here at Circuit 42 and enjoy your chimichanga.